Hello, everybody. Welcome to an episode of In My Opinion. My name is John,
My name is Lester.
and we're back with another episode.
We are back. And before we start today's
Yes.
episode, we're gonna
Mhm.
we have a very important announcement that might not be very good to hear for most of you, but we are actually this is the 32nd episode. We have actually decided to take a break after episode 40, so we end it off on a nice number, and then we'll take a little bit of a break
Uh-huh.
all the way to around January 2021. So season 1 of IMO is ending in like 2 months' time. And by we decided to take a break, it's more of I decided to take a break because I am tired.
Cause he old.
I am very, very tired, guys. I really need a break. And we're gonna take like 1 or 2
Yeah.
months break to do other projects and free up some time and try to think of a new
And
way
let
to
us
spice
go.
up our
Let us go on
emotions.
holiday, man. Let us go on holiday,
Yes.
even though there's no place to go.
Stay at home, no, I can also. But yeah, when we come back, there'll be new features of IMO. We're trying to spice it up, trying to make it a bit different, so it won't be the same episodes in season 2 as again. So
Yeah, boy.
we'll see how that goes, and hopefully you guys will stick with us until season 2, which will happen.
And who knows? Maybe by the time it's season 2, my name will be included in the YouTube channel. Who knows? Here's hoping.
no promises. But yes,
Okay. On to today's topic.
yes.
What are we talking about, Lester?
Yeah, today we'll be talking about Mulan. And I actually went to watch Mulan like a few days ago. Okay, do you know what? It's been a week. A week ago, I watched Mulan. And John actually watched Mulan, I think, around the same time. And we actually had, I won't say heated debate, but like we both disagree on whether or not Mulan was actually that bad. And yes, but before we start the Mulan whole thing first, we do want to acknowledge that there's like controversy around the movie. That's not exactly the movie itself, like them thanking the Xinjiang province government, which is the location or province of the Uyghur concentration camps, and also that Liu Yifei also
The alleged Uyghur
alleged.
concentration camps.
My bad. So, and also that Liu Yifei talked a little bit about thanking the Hong Kong police, if I'm not wrong, and that sparked a little bit of controversy. We don't know enough to say anything about these issues, and we talked a little bit before. We don't really know our opinions on them because we simply just don't know anything. So
Yeah, boy.
we're going to reserve our opinions for another episode where we are more comfortable to talk about this whole issue a
Yeah.
bit more like.
But feel free to discuss it in the comment section below,
Yes.
you know. But discuss healthily, let's not be angry at each other. Let's try to discuss and try to understand a little bit more because I'm pretty sure no one is an expert in these issues. So
I agree. So, yeah, and with all the disclaimers out of the way, let's get into it. First of all, John, 1 to 10, how much do you like Mulan and why is it 2?
-16. No lah. It was okay. Objectively, I feel that it was objectively a bad film.
Wow.
Okay. Let me explain why.
Wow.
Okay, so
Okay.
they had all the makings of a good movie,
Mm.
right? But they squandered it all by having a very convoluted plot and
Okay.
a very shoddy screenplay that resulted in forgetful characters, forgetful plot lines, and then the whole sentiment that it's like a shitty rushed video, despite the screenplay literally being written in history.
Okay.
And if you want to take liberties, and don't want to
Yes.
be using what's written in history, that's fine. Your screenplay fantasy version was literally written in the 90s by the same exact company
Mhm.
making the same exact video.
Okay.
And don't get me started on the stuff that they get culturally wrong here and there. Kind of Harry Potter-esque Phoenix rising from the ashes. You know, there are more impossible things in ancient China. Like, for example, you know, they were like, oh no, it's so impossible that a woman is leading the army. Like, hello? Don't you see Ho-Oh flying next to red shirt lady?
Wait, the Ho-Oh is not
Freaking
real one. The Ho-Oh
Pokemon,
is,
man.
The Ho-Oh is she imagined one, what? It's not actual Ho-Oh.
No one
right?
knows. No one knows, to be honest, because she sees it since she's dehydrated. She becomes well fed. She still sees it. I
feel
mean,
it's a
and okay,
hallucination.
if you say that Ho-Oh is a hallucination, right?
Yeah.
Then what about Gong Li's McGonagall bird transforming act? Is that less impossible than a woman leading the fucking army?
Maybe the answer is that they're all just high on opium probably at that time.
No. And then like I tell you why the plot is so thin and problematic and like so difficult to like.
Mm.
I was just telling a few people, I think I told you, that I think the savior of China is the spider during the matchmaking.
If the spider wasn't there.
For those of you who didn't watch the show, I'm sorry, spoiler alert, but those of you that did, right? If the spider wasn't there, Mulan performed the tea ceremony perfectly. She would have been married off to some dude, probably plowing a field, feeling bitter all the rest of her life, while China gets destroyed by the northern invaders. So, spider for president, man. Spider for president.
Okay, now that John has given a quick overview of what he feels, here's what I feel. I don't think it was that bad of a movie. And
blasphemy. Okay.
I really didn't think it was that bad. When I walked out of it, I was like, okay, here's the thing. It's not a good movie. I wouldn't say it's the best movie I've seen.
It's a real stretch that you're trying to push it as a decent movie.
I would say it's a solid 6.5 to 7.
Oh,
solid.
You did not.
Solid. Like on any day, 6.5 minimum solid.
As in like what? In terms of okay,
you're like,
if you ask me, okay, I don't want to be mean here. I want to be as fair as I can be.
Yes.
If I watch this movie without knowing anything about Mulan, or if the story happened without the context of it being Mulan, then yes, maybe, it could be called Warrior Lady, right?
Yeah.
Then maybe I'll give it a 4.9.
What? This is crazy.
Well, it's a really shit show. You think about it, right? I asked you to compare this to other B-rated shows like the Megalodon or like Sharknado. The plot is this kind of level, what? Like
this is
the
not
characters
Sharknado
find things that
plot.
are impossible. No, the characters find things that are impossible that when there are clearly more impossible things happening right next to them.
I mean, okay. I do think that the reason why Mulan was like such a big fail and why like so many people really hated on it was also partially because like it came in with the expectations that were like too high. It was doomed to fail to begin with, really. Like
no,
I think it was
I don't think so.
Everyone just remembers
maybe that might have contributed to it because I do agree that overhyped films tend to perform poorly at the box office because people are like crazy hyped already, right?
It's like Star Wars.
But you must know there are so many things that they got wrong. So firstly, right, it started out with Mulan. Little girl Mulan.
Yeah.
Little Mulan.
Running
around chasing a chicken, doing motherfucking
it's like Qigong shit.
Greatest Showman bullshit, jumping all over the roofs, falling down
I didn't see a problem with it.
And not dying, right? So basically the opening is the same as the Dragon Ball live action. She is Goku at the start. And then after that, right, she defies her father to join the army because the father got conscripted. All this after the spider basically started her on a journey to save China. So spider for president.
Yes.
But anyway, there was this very important thing, which was to be for her to cut her hair.
Why?
In China, in ancient China, cutting the hair got significance one what? Even the men didn't cut hair. So I think they only trim a bit so that they can burn it for war for the army. But in ancient Chinese, there's this belief that when you cut the hair, you essentially you throw your identity away lah.
Oh, okay.
So that moment was very important, but it was not there.
Did they do it in a cartoon?
In the cartoon, yes.
Oh, they did. They cut the hair.
Of course.
Oh, for real?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
What the? That was quite an important scene after when will my reflection show? Then she ran off, right?
Okay. Now I remember. Okay, but
yeah.
Here's the thing. Like, I didn't think the cartoon was very culturally representative.
No, okay, I'm gonna agree with you on this. Okay, the cartoon was not the best representation of ancient China. Yeah, that's a fact, man. That's a fact. But the thing is, right, the dots connected nicely in one direction. There were no weird impossibilities. Like they introduced the fucking dragon, like a fucking mini Mushu dragon.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Straight up. And they're straightforward about he came from the ancestors' wish. The ancestors bring this whatever to take care of Mulan because Mulan cried to the ancestors when will my reflection show? I will bring honor to my family and save my father and my country. Then she ran off and then the ancestors sent Mushu after her. So the crazy shit, right, happens, right? It's definitely not ancient China, because ancient China don't have Mushu. But they acknowledge that the crazy shit started somewhere and the crazy shit was followed through all the way.
Okay.
Nobody in the whole... And then Mushu, right, kept hiding. Because he actually exists. Yeah?
Okay.
Mushu in cricket kept hiding, right?
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yes.
He actually exists. Okay. So that part, right, is not an impossibility. It's not like the fucking Ho-Oh, right, wants to appear, don't want to appear, once in a while hide in Pokeball. No. And then nobody, right, has to deal with anything that is impossible.
Okay. So like the humans
None of the characters.
Okay.
There's no village girl that can suddenly hold 2 pails of water and chunk up the mountain faster than all the guys that work as hard. There's no random village girl that can fight a spear fight against some guy who is clearly trained in martial arts and fight him to a stalemate. It's all cop-outs in the live actions. How she climbed up to the top because of her cheese. She just summoned her Goku powers and suddenly can Kamehameha. That doesn't make any sense. In the movie, right, she had to work real hard when everyone has given up to climb that bloody pole to retrieve the arrow. And that's how she gained the respect of her teammates. Not
she like can suddenly out of nowhere. Right? Okay, but
yeah, boy.
I do think that like the struggle is a bit different. So like in the cartoon Mulan, the struggle was more the physical struggles, right? It's more tangible struggles. Is that she is unfortunately physically not as strong as the men in the army, and therefore she had to work hard, and that was a struggle. But in this movie, I think the struggle was more emotional and more in her head than anything. So it's more of like she knows she's good enough. She knows she can. It's like kind of like how...
But that's not a Mulan movie. Mulan movie is not for Mulan to prove that she is a strong, powerful girl.
But it's... Okay, to me what... Okay, I think I told John this before. Like to me what Mulan has come to represent in media and in culture, right, is an Asian voice in a largely white or like American/European dominated field. So like we hardly get Asian movies. Mulan is one of them. I think like there's no other, like is other Disney princesses, maybe Pocahontas or something, but like other than that is Mulan really, right? There's no other Disney princesses that are like other races.
Well, why must you use a Disney princess to push this point? There's so many other great points to talk about. Like for example, okay, Western cinema actually take a lot of inspiration from Asian cinema. Yes,
correct, yeah.
Like for example, Infernal Affairs, Wu Jian Dao was adapted into the Unbreakables or Untouchables or whatever lah. Basically the Matt Damon, Leonardo DiCaprio version.
Yeah, but like for once in like forever, since like Crazy Rich Asians, we didn't get a fully whitewashed movie.
But it's so problematic that you choose a Chinese epic where the story is already written. You want to create a warrior dragon girl, please go ahead. Warrior chi girl, please go ahead to show that actually Asian women are strong.
Yes.
Don't call it Mulan. This is not a Mulan movie.
But
like I said, you want to... Like, no, really what? Mulan did not struggle with didn't really have to. Mulan's story is not an emotional coming of age. I discovered my emotions. I'm now a better person. No. Mulan's story is one whereby she had to struggle with her identity where she didn't really fit in as a woman. Right?
Yeah.
And she cannot bear to see her father die at war.
Yeah.
So she went in hiding while throwing herself away. And then somehow, because she motherfucking zai, become a fucking hero. That is the story of Mulan. Not one whereby like, I'm already strong, I gotta prove myself. And then she go, and then she prove herself, and then she happily ever after. No! What?
I think it's
there's no struggle.
Yes, what?
She could have stayed at home and reflected, or run away from home and find some monk in the mountain. And that would have been a more acceptable story than her running to do Mulan things.
I think it's okay, I didn't find a problem with it being an emotional struggle. I feel like it's still a good message. Because Mulan has also become a feminist icon, right? It's become an icon for like...
I never knew that it became a feminist icon and an icon. Is this all in your head?
It's not! I'm okay. Wait, time out. Is it just me, guys? Like, can
Is
you
it
guys
your
back me up
head?
here? It is a feminist icon. It's like basically you think of all the
I
Disney
mean, yes,
princesses
it
in
is
the world.
a strong female character. Hence,
Yeah.
I can see that it's being taken as a feminist icon.
Yeah.
But isn't it ironic that the feminist icon story must be twisted into so many, I don't know, it's some kind of emotional version to try to push that point when the original story already is a feminist icon story?
It's a different take to a different struggle. Like, let's say, like,
Mulan's struggle is not different. It will never be different because it's history. It's
I mean, it's half
happened.
history, guys. Like, it's not full history. Like, it's
What?
even historical films take their own liberties and twist.
That
it
is
to-
very true.
To make a
No, that
theme,
is
what?
true.
Yeah.
That is true. But
Yeah.
the thing about it is that you cannot just suddenly give her an emotional struggle. Then why didn't she emotionally struggle at home without going through the whole war thing?
Why
You know,
didn't
it
she?
suddenly
She,
shows
she,
that
did, she never had to be forced to do it. What?
She never had to be forced to what?
She never had to be forced to struggle that emotional struggle that in that
But she
way.
had to.
Her emotional struggle at home was that she had to basically conserve herself because in that world that was how she was going to succeed. But then when she was forced to succeed in a man's world, quote unquote man's world, or in the army, it's the same emotional struggle, but it has a different outcome. You get what I mean? I didn't think it was
That's
that bad.
incredibly convoluted.
I didn't think it was that bad. Really.
I think you're letting your letting your imagination run wild here.
I'm not. Okay, wait.
No,
Time out. Okay,
I
don't
think
need to
you're
preface
reading
this.
too
I don't
much
need
and
to- I don't
giving
need
the
to preface
author.
this. Okay, I need to preface this something. Okay, so like, did I think that the scripting was weird at times? Yes. There were some lines that were very obviously written by a white person and like trying very hard to Google Translate. You get what I mean?
Okay.
Like you can tell very, very clearly it's not written
Yeah.
by a Chinese person. And it's a
Okay.
bit cringy at times. One, definitely. Cinematography wise, like, okay, fine. It's not bad, but it's not great. It's like pretty forgettable. Plot holes, 100% have. The bird thing, I'm with you. Who the hell can convert to a bird? And the problem is that she was the only one that could convert into a bird. So that one, I can suspend my disbelief, but I don't blame you for not being able to. And then, and plus live action movie is also a bit hard because like in a cartoon, you see one baby dragon Mushu flying around and shit, right? A bit easier to suspend your disbelief because it's an animated film.
Yes,
But in a
I
live
tell
action,
you.
a bit harder. That one I give it to you. But like the main theme and the main message is something that I feel like it's fine. I think it's fine. I wouldn't mind my children watching this and thinking this is what Mulan is. I truly wouldn't mind. It's a good message to come out of it. But.
It's a good message that can be found in many other better films.
Okay.
Because right, this film right is very problematic in the sense that they get a lot of things firstly wrong from a movie standpoint, and secondly very wrong on a Mulan standpoint. I give you an example. Why is it that people are crying foul on the cultural appropriation front?
Yeah.
I wouldn't say that this is cultural appropriation. I'm just saying this is very poor representation of the Chinese culture. Like for example, Chinese writing and Chinese literature. Okay, a very elegant bits of Chinese history. The whole premise of the movie is centered around the virtues of loyalty, being loyal, brave, and true.
Yeah.
Which are great, these are great messages to send.
Yeah.
But which dumbass Chinese prop maker or I don't know who, which dumbass Chinese person will put it as Zhong, Yong, and Zhen? For all you white people watching out there, when you use the word Zhen, it's more like real. So it's Mulan's loyal, brave, and real.
Keep it real,
There's
man.
so many other... And I know this for a fact.
Yeah.
Because if you go and do Google Translate,
yes,
you can find a better word.
Is what? Like
and this is problematic. And this is why it gets problematic. Because a Chinese person watching this, I don't even need to be a Chinese, and I can come up with two possible
better translations.
alternatives.
Yeah.
That is way more culturally accurate and way more Chinese literature accurate.
Is that being a bit nitpicky though?
No, it's not. Because that was a very important thing. Because you see, that was an important part of the whole movie.
Yeah.
They included this that was not when it was clearly not part of the Mulan story.
Yes.
And they made it a big deal from start to finish.
Yes.
It's like I asked you to, there's this very famous Chinese 精忠报国 that the mother tattoo on the back. And then you change the words wrong, or you tattoo another set of words. That's some bullshit right there, right? And then you tattoo wrongly.
Okay. But
right, you put in an English quote like life gives you lemons, make lemonade in Chinese words. That's where it's wrong already, right?
Okay, but it's not.
And this is one point that is problematic first. This is just one thing that's problematic.
Okay.
And then after that, right, they dare to finish off with the fourth virtue. I love that one because the virtue was very clearly, very easily summarized in one word, but they fucking stupid. They never.
It's just filial.
They write the word 孝.
Or piety.
So correct.
Yeah.
That's how Chinese will call it also 孝.
Yeah.
The singular word is called piety.
Yeah. I agree.
But they say, what? Is that a fourth virtue I see? Read it out loud.
What is it?
Devotion to family. What? It's like you watch those show, right? The guy say the person say one word in their native language, but the subtitle one paragraph.
I love it.
孝 is devotion to family.
You know when that happened in the movie, I literally it took me out of it so much. Okay, that one I agree.
It caused me physical pain.
A bit weird. That one damn weird. Then I was like, I looked at it like, 孝, devotion to family. I'm like, huh? But then
come on,
I was talking to other people, then they were saying that is it possible that piety isn't a common word in other cultures? Because it still needs to. It doesn't have
to be a common word to be a word.
Yeah, but if you say
that
piety
you can search
only,
on the
right?
freaking dictionary.
No, but if in the movie, let's say in the movie, and you don't know, you have never heard of the word piety because maybe it's not in your culture. Then you suddenly hear piety, then you're like, huh?
Yeah, but then what if you know that then in the next cinema, you're watching the movie called Tenet.
Yeah,
and everyone understands that word.
But here's the thing. Wait, I don't understand what's tenet. What does tenet mean?
No one understands that tenet is an actual word, right? But tenet is a word.
But the Tenet movie was meant to confuse the hell of everyone, right?
No. The title is Tenet.
Yeah.
Oh no, nobody understands culturally what the word tenet means. No lah, you cannot do this kind of thing. You cannot. You have this kind of stretch. What piety is a simpler word than tenet.
I'll say it because maybe the piety word, right, is so integral to the story that they had to explain it. Because if not, can you imagine if you don't know the word piety and then just watch the entire movie from there? It won't make sense, right?
I think at this point you're making way too many excuses for the
I'm not gonna lie.
People audience
or
the Disney centric audience.
Yeah.
Think about it. I give you an example. Okay, if Disney was truly considering that, right, there's so many other ways they could have portrayed this. The last virtue could have just been the word 家,
or maybe family.
And then she could have just said family. No, they clearly wanted to They clearly wanted to milk this point that Mulan protected or defending the family's honor and protect the family always first because she don't want the decorations go back home.
Yeah.
And that is important because that is in the history of Mulan. Yeah. She rejected the decorations and went back to her village.
Yes, correct, yeah.
So why this part suddenly becomes so true to the story? Sorry, suddenly so 真 to the story. It's so confusing because there are some parts where they take liberties on the actual script, but other parts that they don't. You know, and this is just on the first thing, which is whatever appeared on the sword. The next problem that we encountered was, like I mentioned, the poor writing, right? They introduced a whole bunch of characters. I always ask people this, okay? To my audience, I ask you as well, okay? Famous actress Gong Li, pivotal character in the whole movie, right?
Yes.
Wow, flying all over the place. In the end, turn the tables and protect Mulan. What is her character's name?
I don't know. Honestly speaking, I have no idea.
What kind of movie, right?
Yeah.
Has an important character like that played by a huge actress and nobody knows the name?
Okay, fair enough.
Why? Clearly, right, that lady becomes an unimportant part of the movie. What even is her purpose?
I feel like I feel like she does serve a purpose.
What was the purpose?
I feel like
You
her
please
purpose.
enlighten me.
I feel like her purpose was a reflection of what Mulan could have been. Because they both went through the same struggle. They're both talented people who were shut out by society, and because of that, they were. But what the movie was saying that like is like, okay, you can either, because society shut you out, you can either just like screw society, I'm out and do harm to society, or you can stick it out and try to change it. So I think it's a parallel. I think it's like saying that like, hey, that is what Mulan could have been. You get what I mean? And
Okay, I'm
also
gonna
it's
give
to,
you the benefit of the doubt here
Yeah.
and say that okay, I painfully and reluctantly agree with you.
it makes
I
sense.
see your
I
point.
think it's a good plot point.
I see your point.
Yeah.
But okay, it goes to show how like convoluted this thinking is, because if we remove Gong Li's character and Gong Li from the entire movie, right,
Mm-hmm.
there's essentially no difference.
I wouldn't say so.
Or why
Yeah.
don't you counter my point by
Yeah.
telling me her impact in the show?
Yeah. Okay. So
What is her impact in the show?
I think
Besides suddenly flying and tank the arrow.
okay, I do want to say right. She could have not been a bird. That one, if she had just been a human, maybe it would have been better. She could have not been a bird. I think that's what threw everyone off. So that one, I agree. Maybe she should have just not been a bird. But I think the reason why they wanted a bird is because the cartoon had a bird. So they just wanted. Yeah, the cartoon had a bird that went and spy and shit. Right? Apparently, from what I heard from someone.
Probably the falcon or something.
The falcon. Yeah. So they wanted that. They wanted to bring it back, but I think that kind of got lost on people lah. But I would say her purpose was to provide. So like the way you develop a character, I'm not saying the character development is amazing in this movie, but the way you develop a character is to give them a choice. And based on their choice, you'll be able to see their character. So without a choice, you won't be able to see. So the first choice is that she went to the army. The second choice was that when she could have defected to the easy route and just screw society, she didn't. That's another like point of like to show her character, to bring it out. And the whole point of that Gong Li's character being there was to give her that second choice. To show even more.
I like your the vision that you have for Chinese warrior girl. Can we get back to Mulan? No lah, but I can see what you're trying to say here. Okay? And I think what you're trying to say here is quite, these are quite reasonable assumptions.
Yeah.
That's fine. The problem is this is a Mulan movie. So there are certain things that are already more or less written that you don't take so many liberties with. You want to introduce a crazy Harry Potter level transforming bird lady? Fine. Fine. Right?
Yeah.
Make it impactful from start to finish. Make her powers actually mean something.
Yes. Okay.
Right? They don't mean anything. And I think this is one of the reasons why cartoon Mulan, right?
Yeah.
Made Mushu the tiniest dragon that he is. Because if he was some kind of Gyarados level dragon, there would be no problems.
Basically not a Deus Ex Machina thing, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Don't be a cop-out. This is a cop-out. Like, I give you an example. During the war sequence, right?
Yeah.
She only served one purpose. Somehow, her gigantic-ass bird form can keep bombarding the soldiers in their shields, so the Mongols can shoot the giant flaming balls of whatever at the soldiers. So the soldiers became sitting ducks because birds strike. And if she's that powerful on the fucking battlefield, why didn't she just fly into the palace to assassinate the king, the Jet Li? And it's a crime.
Wasn't it
but Jet Li was horribly squandered and wasted in this movie.
I thought wasn't it because like the main Tai Lo wanted to kill the emperor himself? Yeah, because she could have done. That's why you say she could have done it herself. But the reason is because she's working for the Tai Lo.
That might be true. Okay, but that's so thin, man. That
it's a pretty thin movie.
I
get it.
If she's so powerful, right? Firstly, she doesn't have to think about what he says. Why does she need to care what he thinks?
Right?
Maybe she can clearly hold off more than 10 soldiers on her own. He died to one arrow.
But
technically they all died to arrows. Oh my god, this show sucks. They all died to arrows.
what, they don't have bullets at that time, right?
No,
It's
but like
at least appropriate for the age for the time period that they shot this in.
regardless lah. Okay, regardless.
Yeah.
That's just another thing. And then the rest of the supporting characters, the rest of the men in the barracks,
Yeah.
where in the original cartoon film, they obviously were built up to have meaningful relationships with Mulan. So much so that when she left the army at the end to go back to her village, it was actually an emotional parting.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Throughout this live action movie, they die or don't die, never mind, man.
The only
Honestly,
one
I'm
that
surprised they
mattered
didn't die.
The only one that mattered was the love interest, I guess.
Was he even important? Okay. Plot quiz again. Love interest. What is his name?
Zero idea. Not gonna
What
lie.
kind of movie has this kind of thing where the main character's love interest you don't even know his name?
I would say that like this movie is a very differently focused movie as compared to the cartoon. Because the cartoon, it had
What do
a
you
lot
mean
of
by
comic.
differently focused?
Like the tone is very different already.
Huh.
Like right off from the get go. Like the cartoon, the reason why those three characters were so well developed was because the movie used them as a bit of comic relief, a bit of like basically a ad break from the heavy reflection and Mulan stuff. They use them that way, and from there they build a relationship with Mulan. But in this movie, I would have been pissed if they just used them as a comic relief.
So right, will you have rather what they have done now, which is use them for nothing?
Honestly, the only reason why people are so pissed is because they know that these three characters are supposed to be important.
No.
I don't
They don't
think-
need to be comic relief. They can be something else. They could have been the actual Gong Li replacement. What if, right,
Okay.
midway through the war,
Yeah.
she didn't use her chi powers and they all died?
Okay.
Wouldn't that been a better movie, a better development arc?
But isn't that taking a lot of a lot of liberties with the movie as well?
So they don't want to let the character die. They don't want to let the character be funny. They just want to put in characters that people can, last movie also got what? And then name one of them Cricket, the audacity.
I mean, I think it's fine.
Everyone got Chinese name. One guy called Cricket.
Okay, I agree. That one I
What's
agree.
What's the next person? Tony Hawk. Is
Okay.
Gong Li's character actually Tony Hawk?
You can tell that this
Jesus
movie
Christ.
was written by a white person. You can tell very clearly. It's like not written with much
I
understanding.
don't
of the
think there's
culture itself.
anything wrong with it being written by a white person, and I think that's where people are misreading the thing about the sentiment here. There's nothing wrong with it being written by a white person.
I say like
I really
they,
don't think-
they have not written it with a actual deep understanding of what the culture represents. I think that's what it means.
No, it's not just that. I don't think they've written it with an actual understanding of what a movie is supposed to be like.
I think that this movie had the same plot holes and same amount of what as the cartoons.
No, that's
what
oh my god.
wow, what a
Lester,
controversial
what
point.
are you trying to say here? Are you trying to get our first hate comment?
I think it had
No,
the
but okay.
same
okay.
amount.
Let me tell you why, right? For the cartoon, there were more forgivable plot holes.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
Firstly, right, they acknowledge that this is a cartoonic medium. So a lot of plot points were forced through a very cartoon channel.
So you can
So
suspend your
it has,
disbelief a bit more.
but the thing about it is that
Okay.
it still made cartoon sense.
Okay.
There are some parts in this live action that don't even make cartoon sense.
Okay. I get what I mean. Okay.
It's like, I give you an example. We have the lady that can transform into a million birds, but somehow Mulan does not acknowledge Ho-Oh.
Does she not
But
acknowledge
somehow there's this power that gives her a cop out to be able to kick arrows more strongly than a bow. And then somehow, that's not the most impossible thing. The most important thing is a woman is leading the army. That does not make any sense. That doesn't even make cartoon sense.
But like, okay, wait. The whole thing, I do think the whole thing was more of a symbol than an actual Ho-Oh. That one I really
Okay,
think
then
so.
remove the Ho-Oh from what
Remove
I'm
the
saying.
Ho-Oh, yeah, let's remove the
Transforming
Ho-Oh.
bird girl, lady
Yeah.
being able to carry two buckets up the mountain, lady being able to kick the arrow that, by the way, whatever his name was, Mongolian guy and the emperor,
Yeah.
comfortably caught in their hand when it's shot with a bow. That means she kicked the arrow more accurately and more fastly than the bow.
More fastly.
And that does not
Okay.
this sets you up for failure. What can this lady not do? Right? She Shinku Hadouken already next one.
But,
And you know during the war sequence, right?
Mm.
Midway through, she suddenly teleport behind the enemies.
Did she teleport behind them?
She ride a
I
horse.
thought she ride a horse
and
behind
then
them.
suddenly cut. And then suddenly arrow. Then Mulan is behind.
Maybe they.
That does not make a cartoon sense. How do you get behind enemies in an instant?
But I mean,
Wearing get this. She's not wearing like camouflage.
she's wearing red.
She's
Right?
in red. It's painful to recap. She's in red,
Yeah,
riding
yeah.
a black horse
Yeah,
against snow.
Yeah, okay. Here's my thing. Weirdly enough, not a deal breaker for me. Like I hear you. I hear you.
Yeah, I
hear
guess you are the problem, man. I guess you are the problem.
I hear you. Really, really. I truly do. I'm not saying this movie is an 8 or like a 9. Like not maybe not even 7.5. I'm saying that
Then you will show your child this subpar movie and then help them tell
I'm
them
saying
that
there's
this
no
is the
harm that
Mulan.
will get out of this movie. There's no harm. You know what I mean?
Jeez.
There's no harm in watching this. I feel like
Just
once you go
because
into
there's
the
no
below
harm.
5 territory, right? That is the you have harm watching.
You
this
say,
movie.
saying no harm, that's like it's like people feeding you some random grass and saying it cures your stomach ache. There's no harm trying. I cannot. I can never bring myself
I get it.
to look at. You know what happens in me now is that after I watch this really subpar movie,
Yes.
I have this desire in me to hope and pray someone makes a better one.
A better Mulan. Do you think that's possible?
Oh, the bar is really low right now, so possible it's not an issue. It's just whether budget wise it works. You see, you want to do a modern day twist on Mulan? Sure.
Yeah.
You can definitely do that. That's modern Cinderella, all that kind of thing. Right? And you want to put in the struggle as the emotional struggle in a modern day setting? Sure. Go ahead and do that.
Okay.
Don't do that in ancient China. Nobody struggles that way during war. Nobody struggles
not?
that way as Mulan.
Emotional struggles.
Do it in some
life
modern
and-
day fashion and nobody will fault you for that. People will fault you for other things, but not that. It's like now you want to be a movie that don't know whether want to be Mulan, don't know whether want to be generic warrior girl, don't know want to be social justice warrior pleasing, don't know want to be what, don't know want to find love or not, don't know whether you want to have interesting characters or not. But I do know what's one thing they want. They want Chinese money. They want China dollars.
It's true.
But
Okay.
as of recent news, that's not working out either. So what is
It's
this
not
movie
going
for?
too well for them.
This movie, this movie has essentially achieved nothing.
No, I still think there's a good message.
Yeah, there might be a good message at the core of it. Right?
Yeah.
But it's a really difficult thing to receive because the wrapping and the box and everything is damn fucking cui. It's like you receive a present but it's wrapped inside shit stained toilet paper.
Maybe my expectations have been like rock bottom, and that's why when I watched it, I was like, actually not that bad. Maybe that's why. Maybe that's why.
I didn't have expectations for Mulan for this movie either. I went in with an open mind. Hey, it's just another movie, right? People been talking. People that have been talking that like have been saying that like, oh, it's a shitty movie. But I'm just like, I don't think most movies. I don't think they're shitty, right? And I just watch them.
Yeah.
And let me tell you this, okay? Throughout the show, my face was like this. And funnily enough, because I watched my girlfriend, right? Halfway through the show, she suddenly turned to me and she's like, it's not us, right? This movie is objectively bad, right? Now, she's not someone that is into film, into videos, and stuff like that, into scripts, into stories.
Yes.
For someone like that to pick up on it,
Yeah.
okay, it's a very clear indicator that, maybe a story might have good things to it, but it's so convoluted that a normal person cannot understand.
Maybe
and
that's what it
what's
is.
the point of a movie that firstly the normal person cannot understand? What's the point of taking so many liberties when clearly everyone understood even
Original.
cartoon logic of this story.
Maybe the reason why they didn't want it to be the cartoon was because they wanted a more serious film to tackle a more serious theme, especially in like feminism now is a more serious topic than it was in 1999. Not saying that it's
That's not the
less
objective
important.
that they were clearly going for.
I am quite sure it's at the back of their minds.
They
I
were
am quite
just
sure that
trying
was
to
at the back of their minds.
force this feminist agenda, Asian representation agenda into their movie. Because like I said, okay, think about this movie.
Yeah,
Let's say we don't market it as Mulan, we put in as a white female lead, and then
Yes.
we title it Warrior.
Okay.
This movie would have done infinitely better than Mulan. Without changing a single thing.
Okay.
And that
I
is
see your
and that's crazy.
Okay.
Because you see, Mulan's story, you cannot interchange with Warrior and have it
Yeah.
work out, because nobody will understand why this woman cannot just don't get married. Why this woman cannot just listen to her father. Why this woman cannot just cry and let her father go to war. And why they can't just let things go. They can't. They clearly can't, because in China, in ancient China, Mulan had to deal with these things. And that's why I say, you want to add in all this modern stuff, fine. Call it modern Mulan, or don't call it Mulan.
Mm-hmm.
Shall call it Chinese warrior lady.
Would you have rather a short for short remake?
What do you mean?
Would you have rather like almost like a Lion King like remake?
No, that's the thing. And that's why I think a lot of people are disappointed, because that's not what they're looking for either.
Okay.
They were hoping for something that retained the good parts. And in a live action form, I give you an example. The Aladdin films. I thought they were pretty well done.
Mm-hmm.
They kept the good parts. They brought back the stories. They did it live action. Was it as good as the animated one? I still think no, but it was pretty good. Beauty and the Beast, another one that they did pretty good. Right?
Mm-hmm.
But the thing about it is that like they retain the correct things. What's fun about the genie, about Aladdin? They retain, for example, one of the big things about retaining things in Disney movies is the songs. Now, this might be nitpicky. I don't mind. I personally don't mind if there were no songs. You don't need to have the songs.
Yeah.
And that's true. But you need to keep some of the good parts about the show. Like the clear, even the funny comical characters in the cartoon Mulan push the story forward. The ancestors and Mushu's relationship, completely unrelated to the story and 100% not rooted in fact.
Yeah.
But it pushed the story forward because suddenly you provide Mulan with a tiny dragon that is meant to guide you, but clearly this dragon is also problematic. But they are both aligned on one very simple thing. To bring honor to the family.
Okay.
Right? So at least there is some, relatability to even the crazy characters. There is some wisdom that actually teaches you a lesson.
Yeah.
Like, it feels so unearned at the end for Mulan to receive all these accolades, because firstly, she won the war by cop-out powers. Secondly, she won the respect of the general and the king by essentially doing nothing.
Okay.
She's just like, I come back, you wanna kill me. But we need to protect the emperor because Gong Li Bird Lady tell me. and then he's like, alright. You lead us tomorrow in dawn. And I'm like, what the fuck is you lead us? You are the general. Can you imagine this happening in the modern day where your NS commander suddenly tell you, all right.
It's a symbolic thing, right? It was like a symbolic like.
It's so unearned.
I think it was not unearned in a sense of like. Okay, here's the thing. I think we are viewing this movie in a very different lens. Because to me, the lens is the struggle is different, but it's more emotional, and I think that's okay. But to you, that's not fine. That's not the Mulan story. I'm a bit more okay.
That is sorry. I wouldn't just say that it's not a Mulan story. It's not even a good story. Everything is unearned. You see, you cannot give. You see, this is why the movie is unenjoyable. You cannot give the characters all these powers and all these redemption things when it's so unearned. She did nothing of significance except for the very iconic one whereby she somehow shot at the fucking avalanche.
She earned it in the sense of like she saved them, what?
Yes, but the thing about it is that you don't earn. You see, you don't earn the commander's respect to lead your whole to lead a team just because you spotted something and caused a natural disaster that probably wiped out some of your people as well. No. What's the original Mulan? Right, the cartoon one. What did she do? After being revealed to be a woman, what did she do?
She left, right? Wait, then she had to earn her way back into it.
No, she go and secretly recruit the bunch of crazy kids.
Oh, did she? Okay,
Of course.
I don't remember the cartoon. Yeah,
she went to secretly recruit the bunch of crazy kids that were comic relief earlier, convince them to come with her, because they were the only people that trusted her ability, just like in the show, right?
Yeah.
And then they cross-dress and everything, and then they sneak into the palace.
Oh yeah. Okay. Now I remember. But
this live action, right? The exact same thing happened.
Yeah.
She got exposed to be a woman, disgraced, expelled. Somehow she come back and use her Naruto talk no jutsu, and then the general is just like, yes,
okay, but the general,
please take my army.
Another reason why the general said okay was because she obviously earned the trust of that bunch of weirdos, right? That wild bunch.
Same for the movie. Same for the cartoon.
Yeah.
She earned the respect of the wild bunch, but she clearly knew that the Chinese army is not gonna. The Chinese general or whoever Chifu, the advisor that was riding a horse, is never gonna listen to this woman.
Okay.
And she was a strong, capable, everything kind of woman. And when everything was hopeless, what did she do? She didn't use cop out. She used her smarts to recruit a small group of people and became the fucking hero of China. In the live action, she got expelled. In less than 10 minutes, she come back and she get the whole fucking army.
Wait, she got the whole army, man? No, she got a small bunch only, what?
I don't know. No, the whole army. I cannot remember.
It was a small bunch.
I only remember the Donnie Yen saying, "Tomorrow you will lead us."
Yeah, the us is a small bunch, lah. No, it's a small bunch. It's a small bunch.
I don't think the general will just say us.
No, because one of their problems was that they cannot move the entire army so far. So they say we're going to go in with a nimble small group. That's why they only went with a small bunch. Which is I agree, a little bit weird. But that was their
regardless.
Yeah.
Okay, regardless.
Yeah.
This general has clearly no military discipline.
Yes, sure.
Clearly none.
Can you suspend your disbelief for this? You cannot.
No, I can't.
Okay.
I can't, because firstly, right, you want to show real war consequences where the giant rocks on the trebuchet was thrown and a number of soldiers actually died. And then this general doesn't seem to be interested in the number of casualties he has. He's just like, 10 minutes ago, this woman, and then now I'm Donnie Yen, so I give you power.
I would say
I disbelief if he noticed them sneaking away and then he chose to say nothing. That's what I believe.
Okay.
That's what I believe.
I'm with you.
I don't believe he will give his approval.
I'm with you. Okay.
He already say, you come back, I chop your head off.
But he didn't.
In front of his soldiers.
That's true.
He said, expulsion, you are disgraced, blah, 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 blah. If I come back, I chop your head off. You lose your head.
Yeah.
And then you come back, yes, Talk no jutsu works on me. Jesus Christ. How am I supposed to believe that shit? This is ancient China we're talking about. The next thing, right? Another thing that they got super culturally wrong. Which simple soldier or civilian is allowed to walk so close to the fucking emperor?
I mean,
you cannot approach the emperor like that.
I feel like I can forgive that.
Why? Everything you can forgive them. I might as well go and watch the emoji movie.
No,
because you think about it, you see, these things are objectively bad because you see, if off the top of our head we can think of better ways to elicit an emotional response or something that can better develop the characters, then that's simply shoddy writing already, what?
Okay.
It's so shoddy. And like I said, right, you also mentioned this, it's very clearly written by a Caucasian person, and that's fine.
Yeah.
Then don't call it Mulan, call it Chinese warrior girl.
Okay, I see what's your point. But yeah, I think maybe because I don't focus so much on like the plot holes, it's something that I don't really look at. It doesn't ruin the movie.
No, but don't you get this feeling that as you watch the movie, you're just like, what?
I do. There are moments where I'm like, wait a minute. But
Yeah, then isn't that a bad movie? Which other movie has made you watch a few minutes and what?
I don't think it's a deal breaker. To me, a bigger deal breaker is if the message is confusing, if the theme is not like solid, if the theme is harmful, which says if the theme says the wrong thing. I think that's more
Firstly,
as
right,
a bad movie.
harmful themes will probably not make it to Hollywood. So you can be rest assured.
As in, no, like it can be like unconsciously, not unconsciously, unintentionally harmful. What?
Like what? Give me an example. What kind of movies?
I mean like movies like Justice League with like basically they have like a health. Basically, they pander a lot to the male gaze. Something I like about the this Mulan movie is that you notice there was like almost zero shots of like that pandered to the male gaze. So they didn't
Like
put
what?
they didn't put Liu Fei in sexual positions. They didn't pose her sexually.
Yeah, neither did the cartoons, bro. It's not
Correct,
news. This is since the
but
90s.
that's cartoons lah. Cartoons a bit harder. I'm saying that like this is not a given. You know how many movies have like the male gaze we are pandered to the male gaze so much. So I think that's one of the good things, which makes me think that it's a feminist film. You get it?
This is doing the bare minimum.
It is okay. To be fair,
So how is this something even a redemption point if it's the bare minimum?
I think it's a good step forward.
We don't need steps forward anymore. The step is very far forward. People have walked very far forward already.
That's not true because you look at freaking Justice League or you look at any other like superhero.
What's wrong with
movie.
Justice League?
You go look at Justice. Okay, like Justice League. Okay, I won't say about story because that one up to you. But like the shots, so many shots of the women's butt. Wonder Woman was posed sexually, was framed sexually. Everything was just weird.
You sure?
I am sure because I wrote a paper on it. So like,
okay,
there was a lot of butt shots. Like Zack Snyder loves his butt shots for some damn weird reason. He just loves low angle shots of the women's butt, and it's only women for some reason. And Wonder Woman was filmed not by Zack Snyder, and it didn't pander to the male gaze. And Wonder Woman is a feminist film. It's a film that forwarded the feminist message.
Yeah.
So
I don't deny that.
Yeah, I viewed Mulan as that. It had the qualities of a feminist film, and I didn't.
Yeah. It had the qualities of a very bad feminist film.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, but to me
So I mean, yes, there might be positive message. There might be positive messaging in there.
Yeah.
You know, there might be anti-bad messaging in there, which is great.
Yeah.
Right. But it's the equivalent of having good messaging in a bad movie.
Okay.
This does not redeem the movie, what?
Okay, but like to me, the bigger deal breaker is a bad message than a bad movie.
When you watch a movie, wait, Alastair, what are you saying here? When you watch a movie, if the movie not nice, it's not a deal breaker. But when you watch a movie, the message not good, it's a deal breaker. Then might say don't watch movie, you listen podcast. What are you saying?
It's a bigger deal breaker.
It's called watching a movie.
Okay, here's the thing. The movie itself, right? I would say 2.5 or 0.5. If you put it at 0.5, 2.5. It's a pass. It's like you barely passed. You did enough, just enough for me to like forgive you.
If it's a 0.5, it's like 1.5 upon 5.
Okay, to me, it's 2.5. I think it's passable. It's not great. It's not good. It's just alright enough. But the message is like a 0.5, solid 3.5. Maybe even a 4, in my opinion.
Alastair.
That's why I think
you're a bit delusional here. I don't say this.
Right?
Like
it's 6.5 upon 10. See, it adds up. It's 6.5.
Name one other movie, okay, that has a positive messaging.
Yeah.
That has a positive messaging.
Yeah.
That you cannot remember the character names.
Okay. I agree.
How about this?
I agree.
Another movie that you give 6.5. Okay.
Yeah.
That you cannot remember the character name.
Okay, to be fair, most movies 6.5 are like, I cannot remember. It's forgettable.
Like, give me an example of a 6.5 movie. I need maybe we rate to different scales here. You know,
maybe. I think that's what it is. We look for
maybe our exchange rate is different. Tell me, your 6 another 6.
6.5. Another 6.5. Okay, but anyways, this is a good time for you to. Like, if you are interested in hear us read more about movies, you can go and watch our favorite movies and our least favorite movies episode. and then you can hear my opinions more, and you can hear John's opinions.
Yeah,
more.
I'm gonna have to change my least favorite movies list.
To Mulan also, right?
I only said one, right?
You already said one, I remember.
I have
Now-
two more, right? Yeah, now live action Mulan. Terrible.
Another
It's not even so bad it's good. It's just so bad. You haven't hit that point.
I agree. Okay, I agree that this movie is like a very forgettable movie. And it's
actually extremely memorable right now, to be honest.
okay.
I feel that the more I think about it, the more it doesn't want to go away, which makes me upset.
I think another 6.5 is like Suicide Squad.
That's where I think you are wrong and delusional once again.
See, there's a lot of people. Okay, there's another very unpopular
Suicide
opinion.
Squad, right, is a bad movie. Okay, I have to agree with you that Suicide Squad was a bad movie because it was, the plot was okay at the start and then suddenly it became really compressed and really rushed.
Yes.
60% too. I
Yes,
agree.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But you know who the characters are, right?
Okay. Yeah. Sure.
And this is a reimagining. It's a complete new imagining. It's not a reimagining of something that people already have expectations of, and the script is written in history, right?
I mean, technically, it's the comic books, lah. So
yeah, and like that's where I guess it's just really mad because like the plot in Suicide Squad is really thin too, right? Ragtag,
Yeah.
they suddenly come together and then they suddenly find
Sunny
success.
can work, right? Yeah.
That's a very typical redemption story, ma. That's
Yeah.
fine, right? Bad development too quick.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, at least, right, it's a very thin but very transparent plot.
Easy to follow. The
Mulan plot, right? Sometimes jump here, sometimes jump there. Mulan is never truly in danger.
Mm-hmm.
Mulan never truly had to struggle. Maybe for that one time where she had to shower and then the guy walked in.
I mean, she fight Gong. What's her name?
She didn't fight Gong Li.
She did. They
She
fought.
gave Xiao fight. Then the ice cracked.
Didn't they fight?
bit. The ice cracked a bit and then
she
nothing
threw the
happened.
star at her breast. What? Then
At her sports bra.
thing-
And
the
then the
thing,
sports
like,
bra
stop.
protected her.
It's not a sports.
And then and then you just think to yourself, why didn't all the soldiers wear the extra sports bra?
Because but that's a symbol. That's her symbol of conforming to a men's society. So when they broke it, it was equivalent to breaking that hole. Maybe I'm too artsy about this.
I feel this is you once again giving the movie too many excuses.
The first thing as
a movie watcher.
Yeah.
The first thing as a movie watcher that I noticed was if that little piece of leather used to bind her breast was able to block the fucking shuriken, right?
Sorry.
Make it standard issue.
Okay, maybe I'm viewing this a bit too artsy. Maybe I'm looking at too artsy. But like, I really do think, right, that was intentional. That them throwing it at that and that breaking
then I
after
guess
that was
then I guess
intentional.
Gong Li's transformation into Gong Li's Patronus being a bird is a indication that in her mental state she wishes to fly free and be a bird.
It could be.
That's some bullshit. You know, this is where we take too many. This is us giving the filmmakers too many excuses, really.
Okay, fair enough.
You know,
Okay,
it's like us writing a lit paper for something that is clearly bad.
Okay, sure.
Oh, and the bird was brown. It goes to show that actually she's feeling dirty. No, you can't say these kind of things. I mean, you can, okay? And it will not be wrong. But the problem is, for a film that has a lot of objectively bad elements, these things, good as they may be, do not redeem the film.
Okay, fair enough. I can see your point. I can see your point. Maybe I just.
But I'm so sorry, but I cannot see yours.
To be fair, I'm a damn weird guy. Not gonna lie, my taste is a bit weird. So our top movies list and the least favorite movies list, it might actually be amazing to you or like bad to you. You might completely disagree because I'm a genuinely pretty weird guy, and that's why I'm doing podcasts on YouTube.
Okay, so, I'll have to admit that in my top movies list, there's one show that I feel is quite bad.
Oh, for real? Which one?
Yeah. As a film, it's quite bad, but the story was so impactful that I actually went to read the book and everything, and it was just inspiring in its own way.
Oh,
and that film is wild.
Okay.
Wild, okay? I do feel that the film adaptation, because it's a real story,
Yeah.
they had to dramatize certain parts. It was dramatized a little bit awkwardly,
Okay.
and I didn't quite like that. And
Okay.
I think I understand, because if it just did the true to life parts, it'll be really boring.
Mm.
That's fine. But the thing about it, and this is one of those instances where I kind of agree with you, the message, yes.
Okay.
But I will not, like,
Yeah.
just sell it as like a good movie. It's a bad movie, man.
Okay. Okay.
It's not good. But it's a nice
I'm not saying
movie.
Mulan is good. I say Mulan is very mediocrely average.
No, no.
Let's both agree to disagree. This thing is going on for 1 hour.
Oh my god.
We
what's
texted
an
for 1
average
hour straight
movie
before
then?
this, by the way, guys. we have
What's
been
an
talking
average
about
movie?
this for 2 hours.
You're doing average movies and industries.
We have been talking about this, right? For like, I would say 2 hours. And we can
And
continue going if we
Shazam
really
will be
wanted
an
to.
average movie. So is Shazam on the same level as Mulan?
Shazam was pretty damn good. I thought it was like a solid 7.5.
That's just 1 point above your Mulan score.
It's pretty forgettable. I think it's pretty alright, but it's pretty forgettable.
I got no words for you, Lester. I got no words.
I am very weird, guys. I want to preface this entire thing by saying I am a very weird person, and I fully accept it if you don't agree with me, because most
This is
people
the
do
first one of those few HT. This is one of those few IMOs, right? Whereby we talk halfway, I need to drink water because heaty. Heaty.
not. I love it. But
I really don't like the movie. But okay,
I understand why I do.
I'm just gonna give you the benefit of the doubt. Okay,
Mm.
I'm glad that you enjoyed parts of the movie.
Yeah. I did.
I mean, I watched the movie. I had a few good laughs here and there, even though they were not meant to be laughs.
Yes.
Most of the time, they will wince. I would wince a little in pain, but I guess China Warrior Girl was a pretty okay movie if it was China Warrior
China
Girl.
Warrior Girl. That's how you should call it from now on, right? Just China Warrior Girl.
Yeah. Just don't call it Hua Mulan. And you get so many, actors and actresses of Chinese descent.
Yeah.
And Donnie Yen pronounces Hua Mulan correctly once.
Wait, didn't
Come
he
on,
say
man.
his name more, her name more?
There's only one time that
There's only
Hua
one time.
Mulan was said accurately. It was by Donnie Yen. The rest was Mulan. Hua Mulan. Hua family. Mulan. Why? Is it that hard to understand that Beijing is Beijing? That Shanghai is Shanghai? That Mulan is Mulan?
I mean, you
It's a
can't.
China movie. Get with the times. You don't call it
Why do we have to separate the Chinese actors and American Chinese actors though? They're both Chinese, right?
no, but like
They're still
but
Asian.
like I think names can be spoken.
But if you haven't grown up in that okay, I don't know any of the Chinese American actors, so I have no idea their background or whatever, but I'm assuming they never grew up talking Chinese. And that's just
Are you fucking kidding me?
or they are not familiar with it. So like
They are all Chinese speaking. They are all China actors in Chinese
Chinese
movie.
No, there's a few
Donnie.
Chinese Americans.
No. See,
Were they not?
a few Chinese American, that is fine. Okay,
Yeah,
I'm talking
yeah.
about all the big names one, the A-list the A-list.
Wait, did Donnie Yen
actors
say
and
her name
actresses.
wrongly?
Donnie Yen say correctly once. The rest all is Mulan.
Oh, he said it wrongly.
He said Hua Mulan once.
The rest all he said wrongly. Okay, I
That's
never
the
noticed.
thing.
Okay.
The rest of them carried with their English, their English Angmo accent.
Yeah.
When clearly, right, names you have no reason to do that.
I have no excuse for that. Not gonna lie. I have no
Are
excuse
you
for that.
Alistair Pang, Xuan?
Okay, fair enough. I see your point there.
Right.
I agree.
And this is a lady whose story, mind you, right, is older than the entire USA.
Yeah.
It's a story older than Hollywood.
Yeah.
If anything, they should be getting the Chinese names correct. If anything, if they truly were interested in Chinese culture, Zong, loyalty, Yong, bravery, they would have included the Chinese words inside.
Do you feel like I don't know, man. Like I find it hard to believe that there wasn't anyone that was actually of Chinese descent or like Asian at least to vet the script. or vet the props?
Quite sure there was no one. Have
Was
you
there no
seen?
one?
Have you seen the movie?
I don't know. I have no idea. I will be okay. That one I agree with you. It's not very culturally representative, and it's
It's not.
pretty
No,
bad.
it's not
It's
just
not
that. You
even
see,
that. It's pretty bad
there are
representation.
certain things that you can definitely take liberties with when you work with a culture. That's fine.
Yeah.
You know, that's making a movie. That's making entertainment. But you cannot get too many things wrong.
Okay.
Right? You simply cannot get too many things wrong. Too many things wrong. Like I give you an
Okay.
example, if you make a movie about the Nazis,
Yeah.
right? And then the swastika wrong direction.
Okay. Okay.
You make a movie about Japan,
Mm.
but the flag wrong color.
Okay,
Cannot what?
it's not that level lah.
Right? Or like someone calls it, hey, Daisuke son. What? What? Right? No one does that. And this is the thing. If they can get this is clearly a issue with Hollywood already. If they can get Spanish pronunciations correct, Spanish names, Spanish places, why can't they do the same for a Chinese movie about China?
Okay.
And all their main actors and actresses are all Chinese speaking. In fact, they are big stars in Chinese Hollywood.
Fair enough. I have no defense for them for this one.
So it's like that's why the movie is just so out of place, because they get the wrong things. Like they just get a lot of things wrong, and it reaches the point whereby even a person who wants to give it a chance, cannot help but why, you know, and then you're just like why, and then it just becomes painful, and clearly,
Yeah.
this is not picked up by just the Asian people. The American Caucasians picked it up too. It's just so awkward.
It is lah.
Not China, not IMO, Harry Potter style Phoenix.
You have convinced me to lower the rating.
It's a Harry Potter style Phoenix, when clearly there's a Chinese epic Phoenix that you can follow.
Fair enough.
But they choose they didn't even choose Ho-Oh. They chose Fox from Dumbledore's office. Rise from the goddamn ashes.
Okay, John, you have convinced me. I'm going to lower my rating.
I'm pretty sure you have not been convinced, but
I'm going to lower my rating. That was a good point. I'm going to lower my rating from a 6.5 to a 5.5.
We will need to revisit this conversation again.
Okay, but I mean, this is like the longest IMO episode we've ever filmed.
We have probably gone on long enough. Yeah, I do agree. We've probably gone on long enough, and like I know I sound very like invested, and I'm very passionate about this topic. So I would love it. Okay, for our viewers, our dear viewers, if you are watching this and you all have something that you want to share that can make me excited like this, please comment in the sections below, and then let's have a discussion about why Mulan is worth less than 5.5 points.
Okay, guys, convince me. Now my stands at 5.5. Can you guys try to convince me to lower it even more? Because I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I'm very weird, and maybe a part of me was like, since everyone hates it, I should like maybe try to defend it a bit. Maybe
I'm just glad. The only good thing I feel that came out of Mulan for me,
yes,
okay, was that it was before 9/9, so I was upset. Then 9/9 got sale, then I buy a lot of things. And it made me feel a lot more better. So it made me dip my mood before so thank you, Mulan. So if
Thanks,
ever
Mulan.
you're about to go for something really good, something like your birthday, and then you're just like, shit, life is too good, I'm having too much fun, and you want something to bring you down, watch Mulan.
So you can be more grateful for the little things in life, right?
Yeah, boy. Like I like my girlfriend filmed me watching, and then I was just like, no. Say what? Why she run with arms outstretched and then catch Gong Li that fall down, catch a bird that transforms into Gong Li?
Okay, I just want to say the CGI was pretty damn bad also lah. I did not believe the rabbits were running beside her. The rabbits look really, really terrible. Not gonna lie. But yes, still 5.5 for me, maybe a 5. Definitely not below that. I think it's an alright movie for me. But do you know what? I am a weirdo. I'll preface that. I am a weirdo. And also this is not even considering the controversy around it that we have decided not to talk about
Oh
in this episode.
yes.
So
Okay.
I think that's a one
Let's
whole
address
big
that.
segment.
Yeah, let's address that. So I think, like Lester mentioned in the early parts of our talk this time, we don't know enough, but we would like to talk about it because
Yeah.
I believe humanitarian issues and these kind of international pain points are something that we would like to shed more light on, and are actually also things that we are quite passionate about. So, like I mentioned also, I encourage you all to talk about this in our comment section.
Yes.
Help everyone learn a little bit more, but let's also be kind and polite to each other.
Yes.
So maybe we'll do one episode soon about this humanitarian issue, and I think it'll be worth. It's really more our thing.
You know what, John? I think if we do talk about the controversy, John, I think we can both be comforted in the fact that we will probably agree when we do end up talking about this controversy topic.
Man.
So this is the one of the few times that John and I are going to leave this episode off on something that we disagree on. But thankfully, I would say that this is a little bit lower stake in terms of social issues. We agree on the big things, but these small things like whether Mulan's a good movie or it was that bad, we disagree. I think that's fine. And if you guys disagree with me, as I'm sure most of you do, please feel free to leave in the comments down below. I'm open.
Yeah, you can also unfollow him on Instagram. No, just kidding. You can follow us on our Instagram.
You can unfollow me and then follow IMO.pod. But you have to be done in a pair. If you want to unfollow me, must follow IMO.pod. So please follow, guys. So
yes, please do discuss with us a little bit. If you have not watched Mulan, my recommendation is don't watch Mulan. My recommendation is to still go and experience the movie. Don't just take our word for it, especially if you haven't watched it. Yeah. For all you know, maybe you find something that you appreciate in the movie that I don't, which is also fine.
For all you know,
I will not judge you as hard as I judge Alistair, so take comfort in that.
The only reason why he judged me is because he knows I'm weird. That's why he's like, you are just weird.
I'm disappointed.
He has invested too much time in me, guys. Okay, and with that, thank you guys so much for watching. It's been a very long episode, but hope you guys enjoyed it. We had a lot of fun filming this, as much as I disagree with John the entire time. See you guys next week and stay safe, everyone.
Stay safe.
Yeah. Bye.